Okay, Coach, opening statement on this past week for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I'm really proud of our guys and our team, our coaches, players, everybody involved in the program, going down there, getting a really tough, gritty, hard-fought win on the road, conference opponent, hostile environment, homecoming crowd against a top 25 program. And so, pleased with the effort and grinding that thing out and winning that fourth quarter to bring home the victory, and so that was good for us. Some great performances, both sides of the ball, and just an overall just really good team win against a well-coached, really good Lamar football team.
You had a different piece of headwear during the game on Saturday that was a little bit different, but there's special meaning behind it and attachment with Lamar football. Why don't you break down the significance of the hat?
Pete Rossmondo, their head football coach, is a class act. He's a guy I respect immensely, the way he runs his program and operates the Lamar football team, and just a lot of respect for him, and just getting to know him and researching their team and everything. His older brother Nick was a firefighter in New York, and he's an American hero. He was going up the stairs when the towers came down, and that was just I talked to our team about it. I talked to our staff about it, and I talked with Coach Rossmondo before the game and told him that we wanted to honor his brother by wearing that hat, and just he's an American hero. So that was the significance behind that.
And before we turn it over to the media, there was a lot more kind of, I don't want to say just small mistakes that were kind of being made by the Lumberjacks, and that was really one of the bigger flaws, at least from my perspective, that I saw. So why don't you just talk about that?
Penalties?
Penalties, yes.
Yeah, we were leading the nation in least penalized team 2 weeks ago, and way too many penalties this game. I think we had 8 for 60-something yards, but a lot of them were condensed because they were down the red zone. They were keeping drives alive. We got to be better. 6 of those were on defense, and you just got to play smart. Smart teams win, and some of those were a little bit ticky-tack, but most of them were very well deserved, and so are warranted. And so we've got to be better than that, because those were turnover. We had 5 turnover-worthy penalties where it's a 4th down stop or a 3rd down stop, and they're going to be punting, and we create a penalty, have a penalty, and it keeps the drive alive. And those are, like I say, they're just like a turnover, and they're killers for us. And so we've got to be better than that and everything. So we'll address that. But I thought the crew did a good job. The only question I had was on the touchdown early in the game. We're up 7-0, and they score. We don't think they score, and I asked them if that's been confirmed. They said it was confirmed by video, and I was like, I don't think he caught it. We challenged, and I called a timeout to challenge it, and then we challenged it, and what was confirmed got overturned. And I don't know how that worked, but we're going to get to the bottom of that on the replay. But I'm glad we did it, because we had an interception the very next play, and so that saved us 7 points. And last time I checked, we won 27-20. So that's a pretty pivotal deal there. But we got to get the penalties cleaned up. I mean, bottom line, we got to play better.
Turn over to the media.
So yeah, first, Coach, how does beating a number 22 ranked team boost this team's confidence?
Well, we knew they were a good team. They were what we thought they were. I mean, I think they're worthy of that ranking, and have played really good football this year. And to go down there and do that on the road, and it was a tough, gritty, hard-fought win. And we've got to finish better. We've got to improve. Speak to Coach Rossmondo again. In his press conference, he was upset. He was mad because they lost the game because they didn't finish in the red zone. Missed the PAT, had 15-yard penalties, and delay games. I showed that to our team. And we're not a really good football team either until we clean those things up and finish in the red zone with touchdowns. Don't have 15-yard penalties, and don't have substitution and delay games. And so we've still got a long ways to go. It was a good step in the right direction with this program, but we better get a lot better. We got to finish in the fourth quarter on offense. Our offense. We had a great first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter wasn't good. Defense, we already spoke on the penalties, and that's got to be better. We got to limit explosives. They had a one-play 80-yard drive in cover 3 that should not happen. And I think we've played really good defense so far this year, but we're not great. To be great, you've got to cut out the explosives and clean up the penalties.
And then speaking of the defense, yeah, towards the end, last drive, they're trying to score. What are you telling your team at that point?
Don't let them score. No, we knew the clock was on our side, and so that was, I think, 2 or 3 of the third downs we gave up were to underneath coverage, giving them the first down, but the clock was going to continue to roll. They were out of timeouts, and so it put them in a tough situation, and they had one play to win it, and we were able to make a play on that. And this game was eerily similar to the McNeese game, in terms of how it came down in the fourth quarter and a Hail Mary, and this time we made a play on it. And unfortunately, early in the season we didn't. So we've grown and we've gotten better and beat a really good football team there on the road.
And then turning the page to the Southeastern Louisiana, what do you expect from them?
It's going to be a tough one, going down there, playing on the road, down in Hammond, and they've got a very, very good football team. What I've seen on film, I have utmost respect for Lamar. I think this team we're fixing to play is better. I think defensively, this is the best defensive team that we've faced in the entire season. People or players or coaches want to look at, records. Oh, they're 3-4 and you're 4-2. They're 3-4. They play 2 FBS teams. And we know that's a money game, and then their other 2 losses, they're 3-2 against FCS opponents, and their 2 losses are to the number 1 team in the country and the number 9 team in the country on the road, and they should have won that game. And so they're very, very talented. They just beat the brakes off of Houston Christian, who beat McNeese, who beat us. And so I think they'll have our full attention. We're going to have to get better this week, get some people healthy, and play our best football if we want to have a chance to win out there in Hammond.
Any particular of their players that you're looking to slow down, stop?
I think they're very, very well coached. Defensively, they just have some creatures up front and in their front 7. They're long and fast in the back end. Offensively, they've got a quarterback that's a 3-year starter, operates the offense at a high level, and they're built up front. They brought 2 old linemen to media day for a reason, and they're really good. And then they've got a tailback. He's from, I think last name's Martin. I think he came from Blinn. He's averaging 161 yards a game over the past 3 games, and one of the top backs in the country. So we'll have our work cut out for us. We were able to hold number 6 last week was averaging. He was 9th in the country in rushing. The defense held him to 59 yards. We're going to need another stellar performance against the run against these guys because they can sure pound it.
How's Blaine Green doing?
He's doing fantastic. So he was at practice today, and boy, he's been a bell cow for us. And you saw second straight game with 100 yards receiving, and he's kind of the alpha in that receiver room. And I'm glad he's on our team.
So we talk about going having the luxury of being in Texas over the past few weeks now, going over to the boot, another homecoming game for Southeastern Louisiana. Just every game's important, but when you look at kind of the definitive success on one molds a successful football program, it's really crucial for these games in October to help shape November. Obviously, that's the standard for win and loss. But what is the tone right now for the Lumberjacks sitting now halfway through October?
Yeah, good point. We're halfway through the season, and the next one's the big one. You only get 12 of them. That's what makes football awesome. Some sports you play 50, 60 games. I mean, this one you get 12, and you're not even promised those. It's a collision contact sport, and so injuries happen, and so you make the most of each opportunity you get. And but as we turn the page to the back half of the season, I like where we're at. We're a better football team now than when we started, and that's what you want to see as a coach. I think we've still got the makings to have a really, really good football team. We won a big game on the road against a top 25 opponent. And looking at the film, talking about the game, we could be a lot better than what we put on film and showed Saturday. And that's what's encouraging. And you want to see that. And to play meaningful games in November, you better be getting better each week. And so we're going to have to improve. We've got to have a great week of practice and a right mindset. And then, go out there and hopefully play well and have a chance to win that fourth quarter. It is nice. I love being back in the Southland, I was at home on my couch at 10:30. I got to watch the end of the Montana State Idaho game. Ate a big bowl of ice cream to celebrate, and usually we're flying back in, getting in at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. Years past, so travel's a lot better. I tell you what, and our players appreciate that too.
Heading over to the boot this Saturday, 4 p.m. to Hammond, Louisiana, against Southeastern Louisiana and the Lions. Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Axel.